Welcome back. We got a couple beautiful works of art here on the table, and we got a couple great artists with us from the Potters and Slipcasters Club. We have Marilyn Pollock and also Vivian Bassing. Nice to see you both.
Good to see you.
Welcome. Good to have you here today.
Thank you.
And first, tell me about the club, and I imagine you do this over at Clubhouse 4, and how you got into this and all.
Well, actually, there are two clubs that do ceramics, which is really exciting. We have two big studios. One is the Potters and Sculptors Club, which Vivian will talk about, and this is from the Slipcasters studio. We both work in clay, but in slip casting, it is a fairly new art form, and it's used with liquid clay that we pour into molds. And create our forms, and then we do all of the embellishments and then all the glazing. You know, in Clubhouse 4 we have a great kiln which does both of these. And we have beautiful sculptors and ceramicists. And so, Viv, why don't you talk about the Potters a bit?
Yes. Okay, the Potters, we work in clay, the solid.
Right,
clay.
The different, I imagine there's different kinds of clay.
Yeah, we do. We have quite a few different kinds. And I do a lot of throwing on the wheel and make a vessel and then add to it.
Okay, and so this was thrown?
Yes.
Okay, and then obviously you added the embellishments to it, but the actual pot
is thrown.
Okay, all right.
And then it has a lid. And ours are all the glazes, whereas theirs is a lot of the different bright colors.
And as far as the differences, the major differences, what it sounds like, what you were saying, Marilyn, is that this original vessel on the outside, is it wood molds?
No, they're plastic arrows.
Okay.
And so they're forms.
Okay,
and then you pour into it, and then you have to let it dry.
Yeah.
Take it out, and then it dries again, and you work with it, and then finally you go through the stages of going to the kiln twice. One is to get it to a bisque, and the other one is to put the glaze on. It's all very exciting because both of these are very creative arts. We have in our studio everyone from really beginners when they come to the village and they go, I want to try this, to artisans that are very famous for their work. And each studio we have maybe near 150 members each, which is really exciting. We both have demos. We bring in famous artists to talk to the membership and show them new things that are going on.
But they're both considered ceramics.
Yes.
Am I right? Now, Vivian, let me ask you, Marilyn mentioned bisque, and that is that a type of clay or a type of?
No, it's a firing.
Oh, it's a firing.
So it's the first firing. Okay. So all ceramics are fired once, just so that you can then work with it. It has to be dry.
Okay, before you put glaze or anything on it.
And then once you have it, then you can glaze.
Okay, and the reason I ask that, sometimes you see little ornamental figures, and in shops places, and they call it bisque. So is that something totally different?
No, it is. They've been fired once, and you could then paint it yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So, but you can't. You need to work with something that's fired once.
Okay.
First.
Now, as far as the slip casting goes, when you add all the flowers and all this, I don't know if did you add the rim or was that part of it?
The rim was part of it. Everything else was added on in embellishment.
When you add that on, are you now using traditional clay and kind of sticking on?
No, actually I'm using the same liquid. What I do is I make slabs, thin slabs, and then I take that and then I design what I want and put it on.
So the slabs have hardened a little bit and become pliable.
Just become enough so that they can be moved. I can manipulate them without them falling apart. Then I attach them. Then they'll have to dry. And then we go through another process. We go to the kiln once, and then I do my glazing.
Okay.
We also have artisans who do very intricate painting. Different kinds of painting on their pieces, and We both, in both studios, do a bit of porcelain on top of our regular work.
Now, is porcelain, see, I get confused with all bisque and clay and porcelain. Porcelain is a
another
different
kind.
type of clay?
Another clay.
Just another kind of clay.
Now, you mentioned the painting here, and I noticed on here, obviously you did that artwork on,
Well,
right?
that's glazed in one color, and then I hold it, and I just drip my fingers along.
Okay.
So that's how you
Known
do
to
that.
have magic fingers.
Now, as far as once you get the piece the way you want it, you put the glazes on it. Are the glazes the same? Or they're different?
No, they're different because these are what
Earthenware?
Slipcast, yeah, and in both studios there's different temperatures that
okay.
the kilns are. So there's one kiln that just simply does the lower temperature with the slip casting, and another one that does the solid clay.
Okay.
And so the glazes have to be appropriate for
The
the
firings.
firing.
Now, once they're all done like this, is the strength the same between the two? I mean, once they're done?
I would say mine is stronger.
Okay.
It's fired higher.
Yeah.
And it's a
Okay.
gas kiln, so they call that reduction.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you get all the breaks and colors. This is earthenware, so it's a little bit more fragile.
Now, as far as slip casting, you said it's fairly new as far as,
It's probably not as old as
Yeah.
original.
right.
Which was
Handwork.
done from the first time they took clay and
Exactly.
it dropped into a fire, and they went, oh,
Exactly.
I've got something that holds water.
Slip casting sounds like something that maybe years ago started out as a way to reproduce things a little
Absolutely.
bit easier, am I
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah, in
Absolutely.
factories and
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff you buy is probably slip casted, not hand thrown.
Right,
So,
exactly.
but when you get to like this becomes functional art.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right? So, and certainly this is art.
Yeah, I don't want to touch them because I don't want to.
You know, we have
I don't want to break them.
we have pieces in both studios that, for instance, teapots.
Yeah.
They're done, that are beautifully done, different
I've seen
colors,
some of
different
them,
ways.
yes. Yeah.
In fact, this weekend we're having a showing.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
two
yeah. Before I
studios.
forget, if I may mention this, that coming up, Clubhouse 4 this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we have it on the screen, starting at 9 o'clock each day. You are having your spring ceramic exhibit 9 to 4 on Saturday, 9 to 3 on Sunday, and you're going to have some wine and appetizers from noon to 3.
And we're also going to have some entertainment.
Oh, nice.
Yeah?
Now, will people be able to buy things as well?
No, this time it's really just for
It's an art
exhibition.
show.
It's an art
Okay.
show. But it's kind of a precursor to let everybody know what we do,
Mm-hmm.
and to come back to us in November. November
Okay.
is the bonanza, and
Yes.
that's when we sell.
So as far as what you do here, how long have you been doing this, the throwing clay like this and creating, and you with the Slipcasters, and do you go back and forth? Do each one of you do the other technique as well?
I only do ceramics. I've done it for about 40 years.
Oh, wow.
So when I
Very
came
good.
and discovered the studio, I was
Yeah.
like, yes.
Oh yeah, 'cause the fabulous thing is, if you're a resident, okay, you can go into either studio, you become a member for like, I don't know, it's $15 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so in this studio, all your glazes are free.
Wow.
The kiln is free. I mean, if you had to do this outside of it would cost you probably $30 to $40 a piece to go to a kiln.
Right,
To have
right.
one firing. So, and we have teachers.
Yeah,
we do
that's
the emeritus
fantastic.
program, but we also have volunteer teachers who will work with us, who are part of our membership. So it's really an exciting place to be. And this weekend, you'll see that we also have sculpture. Now, yes, I go between both studios. So I do pieces like this or bigger, and then in this studio, my love, I'm not as facile as she is on the wheel, but I love sculpture. So
Yeah.
we do big pieces of sculpture, and so you'll be able to see it this weekend.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's fantastic. The beautiful pieces, and I love the totally different techniques that are part of it. And I think that the skill that's involved in these Because I remember back in high school trying to do ceramics, and you know, you put it on the wheel and you're like this, and it's going all over the place, and it takes a lot of skill.
Well,
It
I
really
never
does.
got
and
there.
patience.
I never got there with that. That's why I stayed away I've been doing it for about a year and a half. And what I want to say to the audience is, and to the members of this wonderful village that we have, that you can come in and you can find yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really a Zen space, and you can find your own creativity that you didn't even know was lurking there under the surface.
That's fantastic. Well, again, the show, the exhibition is coming up this weekend at Clubhouse 4. Saturday and Sunday, they start at 9 on both days, 4 o'clock on Saturday it ends, and 3 o'clock on Sunday. So stop on over. And remember, wine and appetizers as well, right?
And a little entertainment.
And a little entertainment. Ladies,
Thank you for having
great
me.
to-
Thank you so
nice
much.
to meet you.
Yeah,
Thank you very
you
much.
too.
Good
Okay,
stuff.
thank
We'll be
you.
right back.